Hey guys, I have decided to just do a little chat with me today because what I had planned for today's video isn't gonna work out. It's not gonna happen. And the reason why it's not gonna happen is because I made a mistake. Okay, first of all, I don't normally plan for my videos. Not like in advance. But I have an idea of what I'm doing every day, so I know that's what I'm gonna film. Like a couple days ago, I was baking. I knew I was gonna film those muffins. Yesterday, I was doing different things. I knew I was gonna film that. Talking to you guys, doing a little cleaning and things like that. Okay, so I knew what I was doing, so I knew I was gonna film that. And Jeff and I have been talking about things we were going to do this weekend. We've talked about we going grocery shopping. We've talked about doing a few little odds and ends around here that we were going to do. And that's what I had planned to film. Okay. But I can't speak English. But I had forgotten that he works today. He works Saturday because it's not normal for him to work Saturday. And even though I know he usually works 1 or 2 Saturdays a month, I usually, you know, like, I keep up with it. I know he's gonna do it, but for some reason this time I didn't. I don't know why. So I mean, I have it written down. I knew he was working. But in my mind, he was going to be home because of all these things we had talked about doing. So, his plan was to do it all tomorrow. Go grocery shopping and do the little odds and ends. It's just a few little odds and ends. One of them is, he's going to work on the butcher block. And I was going to share some of that with you guys. And y'all, I would not have changed the butcher block from the beginning. It was beautiful. The first time he epoxied it, I loved it, but he was not happy with it. So he's gonna do what he wants because that's his project, and I will not say anything negative about what he's doing, because if he's not happy with it, just like the kitchen table, every time he looks at it, he will wish he did something different. So and there's been a few things he's done before that he's like, well, I wish I would have done it this way. Every time he looks at it, it's like, it brings him down a little bit. So I want him to have this butcher block pull out counter, or whatever it's called, hidden island or hidden peninsula, have it exactly like he wants before he installs it. So I'm not saying a thing about it. Let him do what he wants to do, because I'm gonna be happy either way, because I know that it's gonna be great. I know he does a great job with everything. So anyways, we're supposed to be doing that, and then we're supposed to be hanging the TV in the office, because we have a wall mount, and we're gonna hang the TV in there for, it's gonna have like at least 3 purposes that I can think of right now. 1, an extra monitor for me when I want to use it, if I want to use it. 2, it will be like for the Xbox, for my Xbox, for like if Jeff wants to go in there and play on the Xbox while I'm doing something in the office on the computer or something, he can come hang out with me. Or if I'm playing a game on the computer, he can play a game on that, you know, that kind of thing. Or for me to play my Xbox games. I play Sims sometimes. You know, stuff like that. That's 2 of the purposes. The other purpose is when we finally get a bed in there, if a guest comes over, they'll have a TV in there that they can watch TV, like Netflix or whatever on, or Friendly TV or something like that, because we'll have a Roku in there with it for that purpose. So We already have the TV. We've already got the TV mount. It's not going to cost us anything. We're going to install it. So those are a couple things that he had planned on doing this week. He's got some more things too, but a lot of it I don't even know that he was talking about. I don't know if he's going to do it or not for sure. Some of it has to do with the shed, and I mean, I know it's our shed, and I know some of my things are in there, but they're doing how they want to do in there. They're organizing how they want to organize. They're setting it up the way they want to set it up, because it is, I'd say 90% their domain, not mine. My domain is the kitchen and the house. And if I wanted something a certain way out there, they would do it, not a problem. Just the same way as if they wanted something a certain way in here, I would do it, not a problem, you know. Like if there was, like I actually have been thinking about swapping some things in the kitchen. And I actually did talk to Jeff and Noah a little bit about it, but not much. Because, you know, after you move into a place, you live in it for a little bit, and you find this is not working as well as I thought it would. Let's change it, you know, that kind of thing. Well, I'm finding that about some things, particularly the drawer that we have, what are they called? The like storage bowls in for like leftovers and such. We have those glass bowls in a drawer, and anytime Jeff and Noah go to look for them, which they don't, usually I'm the one that puts up the leftovers and stuff, but if they ever look for them, they can't find them because they're not used to them being in a drawer. I know exactly where they're at because I know how I set up the kitchen. But it's not that I have a problem with them asking me where they're at, but if they have to ask every time, it's not natural to them. So I want to help them not have to ask. Because if I had to ask constantly where something was, eventually I would get frustrated. Now that's my personality. I'm not saying it's theirs, but I would get frustrated. So I'm thinking I want to change that around and put other things in the drawer, because we do have plenty of space in the cabinet. We've got some space that's not even used up there. So I'm thinking I might swap some things around in the cabinet. And I have thought about in that drawer, right now we have the extra Ziploc bags and things in the tower thing where that radio is right there, up in the top of it. And when I need to get a new box, either I have to get on a ladder or a little stool, or I have to ask for them. So I'm thinking, since we already have the little thing, the bamboo thing that has the different compartments for each size bag, since we already have that in the drawer in there, in one of the drawers, that I would put the extras under that and just sit that on top of that and see if that works better for us. And then the space that's in the top of the tower, I can use it for things we don't use that often. And the space that's in the cabinet, I can put those bowls. But I don't know yet if I want to do that. I really want to talk to Jeff, because the way my mind works, well, I'll put it this way. The way his mind works, he can look at something, like he can look at a drawer, and he can look at 4 or 5 boxes, and he can say, that's going to fit, or that's not going to fit. It's like he has a Tetris brain. He knows exactly which way to angle and do the things. Noah does too. I can't do that. And I think Selena kind of does too. I can't do it. I can't just look at it and say, yes, it's going to fit. I have to actually put it in there. I have to physically do the action or I can't know. No, I don't. I won't. What's the proper verbiage? I won't know if it fits until I try it. And I really don't want to take and make a huge mess, like take a bunch of stuff down, if I'm not going to be able to organize that mess after I make that mess. Because anytime you organize something, there's going to be a mess in the middle, So, I don't even know how I got onto that. I don't even know. How did I do it? That's the way my brain works, though. My brain works this way. I will be talking about something, and I will switch gears that fast and go to something else. But I've thought about not swapping it around today, but just swapping it around. I've thought about undecorating the fall, but then I don't want to because I don't want over a week of nothing on the mantle. Well, there will be a picture of my daddy, but that'll be all, which is plenty. And then, I don't want all that. And then if I did, I would want to go ahead and take these off and wash them. And I don't want to put my pillow covers on these pillows that are the ones that I use just whenever there's not a certain holiday, because I have fall, Christmas, I want to say like spring, Easter type. I want to say I have Valentine's Day too. But anyway, I got different ones, and then I've got some that are just like any time of the, whatever. And I wouldn't want to put those on, but I wouldn't want to leave these on if I'm taking all the rest of the fall stuff down. But I'm not decorating for Christmas until later. And I know that a lot of content creators, a lot of YouTube creators will decorate early. But we are still sticking to our traditions that we've had forever. So we're not doing that. Because I just don't want to. I'm not trying. Like, I know that content creators do it for inspiration for other people. And I absolutely love watching them do it. And it does give me inspiration. But I guess I'm not really an inspirational content creator when it comes to decorating. I might inspire you to do freezer meals or cook meals a certain way, or do slow cookers, or might inspire you to do different tips and tricks or whatever, but I am just not the one for the decorating part, because I decorate the way I want to. I don't try to do any certain kind of thing. I don't have themes. I just do what makes me happy. I guess that's my thing. I don't know. But I'm just not one to decorate early. Even though sometimes I want to. Like, I will see those ladies decorating their houses on TV, or I watch them on my TV, the YouTube stuff. I will see them doing it. I'm like, oh, I want to go ahead and get my stuff out. Oh, I want to go ahead and do that. But then I'm like, do I really? Because then it's not the family tradition. And there's something else with me. And I know that this is not even anything to do with YouTube. Some families, the mother does all of, or the wife, the lady, the woman, whatever. She does all the Christmas trees and all the decorating and stuff. And nobody else has any involvement in it. We've never done that. We've always, like, from the time, for Jeff's first Christmas in our first house together, we decorated the tree together. And then once we had kids, as soon as they could, they helped decorate the tree. And that's the way it's been. We've always decorated together. And then, once Noah moves out, I mean, Selena's already moved out, but once Noah moves out, it will be me and Jeff again. It won't be just me decorating, ever. We do it together. That's our tradition. Now, I don't have a problem with just the woman decorating, if that's the way that their family dynamic works. But our tradition has always been doing it together. And I don't know why we do it that way. Because, like, my mother-in-law always did it herself. I don't really remember who did it at my mama's house because sometimes we didn't have a tree. I think she did it though. And like, I don't even think she has trees now. But not because of religious reasons, just because she didn't. I remember we did have this like tinsel tree. It was silver. And I'm like, that's like not even a tree, that's a spaceship. But it was pretty. It was sparkly, and I always like sparkles. But at least it seemed like we had one. Maybe it was one of my aunts, but I do believe it was at our house. But I don't remember who decorated the tree, but it seems like it was all of us together when I was little. But I'm not sure. Because it's been so many years. I guess, I don't know. But my mother-in-law, I don't know how it was whenever her kids were little. I don't know how it was when Jeff was little. I've never asked. But I know since I've known her, and her kids were older when Jeff and I met, it was just her doing it. She always has these fancy trees too. They're always different, always fancy. Always very pretty, but fancy. She's like the ones that in the storefront. That's the way they look. But we do have traditions. Like, there were traditions I wanted, but we never did. Like, I always wanted for us to cook together at Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. But most of the time, it would end up being me doing most of it. Like, I wanted us to bake cookies and stuff like that. And me and the kids, we did do that kind of stuff when they were younger. But we didn't ever do, like, the gingerbread houses and the decorating and all the different things. Like, decorating cookies and stuff. But, honestly, one of the reasons why we didn't do that is we didn't eat gingerbread. And I thought you had to eat the gingerbread house. I would eat it now. I like gingerbread now. I didn't know that okay, I thought I didn't like it when I was younger. Okay, that's what I was told, that I didn't like it. I don't know. Maybe, there was a lot of things I didn't used to like that I just don't think I ever tasted. Or I didn't have the right one anyway. But, where was I going? What was I saying? Oh, and decorating, like for decorating cookies and stuff. We did stuff like that. Me and the kids did. We didn't do elaborate stuff. We didn't do fancy stuff, but we would do little things and, all that. But it didn't stick. It didn't stay. We didn't do it every year. It didn't become a tradition. And that's okay, though, because we had our own other traditions we did, And there was a point where we were making ornaments, and then that didn't stick. We did that a few years, all four of us together making ornaments. But that just, once the kids became teenagers, they weren't interested in stuff like that as much. But every family's different. Every family has their own traditions or non-traditions. And as long as everybody's happy with it, that's fine. Like, we were happy with how our stuff was. And I really enjoyed every year, since Noah could, us hanging the ornaments on the tree, on the big tree. I always enjoyed that. And that is something that I didn't really ever share. I don't think I've ever shared that, us actually decorating the tree, that one, on my channel. I have shared Jeff and I decorating our little tree for our bedroom, but not the big family tree. And the reason why I didn't is because it was something special. I did show you guys the tree, but I never did decorate it with y'all. I might this year, because I mean, it'll probably just be us doing it with y'all, hearing music and watching us laugh and act stupid. Not act stupid, but silly, act silly. I'm still sipping on my coffee. I've been sipping on it since way earlier. But I've sat here and talked for like 20 something minutes. I don't even know what all I've talked about. Other than I made a mistake thinking that Jeff was going to be off work today, and I thought we were going grocery shopping. And I could go grocery shopping alone, but we have not made the grocery list. I don't know if I've already said this, but I don't like making the grocery list without Jeff, because there might be something he needs that I don't know about, and if I don't get it, then he may not have it. And now that we live further away from the store, I mean, we don't live that far. We live like 10 minutes from a Dollar General. It's not much at all. But now that we live further from, wow, that was loud. Why'd you get so loud? Now that we live further from a store, and the stores close earlier, I just don't want to forget anything. I don't want to go back to town. And y'all, I believe it's saving some money too for us living out here, because we're not going to the store as much. We're not going, you know, running to town and stuff, which, I mean, I know that last week we ended up going to Walmart and stuff after going to the grocery store, but we didn't buy groceries and food and stuff, so it was a different situation. But okay, sorry I had to yawn, but I'm not doing anything today other than I'm gonna be doing some reports for the fire department. I have pages of things that I need to do some data entry, and I'm gonna be washing some clothes. I'm not doing anything else because I forgot that he had to work, and sometimes plans change, and that's okay. Tomorrow I will be back. We are going grocery shopping, and I will share what I can of whatever we're doing around here. But otherwise, I hope this was okay. I do like to have chats with you sometimes. You're my friends, and I like to hang out with you a little bit. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. I hope you got something from this, even if it's just a little bit of encouragement that it's okay to make mistakes and forget things. And it's okay to change your plans. And if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. I'm doing fine. I'm doing really good. And Jeff and Noah are on the mend, so that's great. Noah's almost 100%, I think. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels. And, oh, if you have a prayer request, I don't know if I said that, leave it down below. Remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.